Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Peace Dealer. And welcome to the last couple days of Capricorn season. I hope you're enjoying this final boss battle. And I hope you allow yourself to challenge yourself past your limits and basically beyond what you think you're capable of. I really want you to see everything you've gone through as preparation for seemingly the worst or the best, but the key word here is the most intense. The moon is in Leo. It's going to enter Virgo as the sun enters Aquarius, and this full moon to 8th house energy is evoking transformation after the completion of power. And so shout out to Leo as an energy, moon in Leo. And shoot, shout out to you, sun, moon, rising in Leos too. Shout out to the main characters, the lead roles. This is really important because the moon in Leo is this receptivity to golden quality that will really define your awareness of integrity. But one thing I learned about Leo being the 8th house of Capricorn is Saturn is like General Palpatine, right? Saturn is the Lord of the Dark. It doesn't have to be Lord of the Dark. It's Lord of Integrity. But Saturn is, you know, the most powerful authority in the zodiac. And the only thing more powerful than that, really, I mean, Aquarius is stronger and Pisces is more magic. But if we're talking power and cardinality, that's Capricorn, Saturn. The only thing that can trump that is courage, light, love. I didn't want to say love, but that's the whole lesson, that, you know, the strength and courage of love can actually put in check and transform even the most powerful power should it deviate to the darkness. Just off the strength that the sun is so much bigger than Saturn anyway. But yeah, something to keep in mind. Without love, or rather without this sense of passion and fire, and Capricorn can grow cold and actually evil. But other than that, and this is why Cancer is opposite Cap. You can't be too detached. You have to actually have empathy and emotions. Oh, I'm just joking. But like, yes, nothing wrong with emotions. No, I'm just joking. But the moon in Leo is making you receptive to this courage, but really to energy. This is the fuel you filled up in Cancer. And now you're going to be glowing and brimming with this harvest. We're in a harvest. And up until moon in Scorpio, when the moon goes over the south node, you're going to be unlocking pure energy that will intensify how much stronger you're becoming. But now everything you've gone through is meant to prepare you for these hard times. Rest in peace, Steven Arnio. Hard times create strong men and womans. Okay, so like, fully expect everything you go through to step you on to the next level of intensity. Congratulations, the North Node is entering Taurus with Uranus in the sign. This is the revolution of the individual. So when we say that you have to look and go inside, this can't sound like BS pseudo-intellectual spirituality that's just, you know, paired with this stupid feel-good and prosperity doctrine. You have to really apply this realistically, because you have to question, even if sources who tell you what you want outside of yourself are right for you. And like, the less you go within for guidance, the more you're going to be lost. And I just hate how cliche spiritually that sounds, but this is the revolution of the individual, where you're not waiting for things to just come to you. You have to manifest it yourself. Uranus in Taurus is the radical path walked, where there's no path walked. You have to weed out everything. You have to make that path yourself. You have to walk it while everyone else is walking the broad path that leads to destruction. Like, you have to make it yourself. Hopefully since 2010, you've been doing that. But the North Node in Taurus is going to highlight this individual path you've walked and start to fill it in. But South Node in Scorpio adds that much more intensity. And with the moon in Leo as we get ready to go into Aquarius, with Saturn in Aquarius, is going to require a much more harder, intense version of yourself than you may even know you're capable of right now. And this is why this is a limit breaker. This isn't limited to just this transit, but at every opportunity, right? And honor rest, right? If you're resting, rest. But like at every opportunity, go a little bit farther or a lot of bit farther than you feel like you can. Because the purpose of this harvest, now that you have awakened and activated superpowers at your greatest level, now you have to show yourself what your limits actually are. And some of you, myself included, have never really, like for example, I've winged basically everything I've done. I've given a half-hearted attempt at almost everything to the point where I'm kind of used to it now. And so I'm pushing and challenging myself to actually show myself what is the hardest I could do. I've done this in workouts. Like I wouldn't even really hit a set. I don't like to work out with other people because they are going to push me to my limits. If I work out by myself, I can just be lazy as hell and not really hit those sets. And yeah, it's been doing me a disservice here and there. I have my own techniques, but you know, it's not letting me be the hardest I can be. And so this is now my opportunity, yours as well, to really push yourself. Even if it's with like mental game, if you're playing Sudoku, push yourself mentally harder than you usually do. If you're, I was going to say a vague sexual reference. If you're having intercourse, you know what I'm saying? Push yourself harder than you do. Go for it longer than you normally do. Because those of you who push yourself out of this uncomfort will gain great rewards. And it's not really about forcing an outcome as much as it is showing yourself that you can go beyond the limits of what you're capable. And this will actually require failure. There's actually no way to go about this than to fail. You literally just have to keep going beyond what you think you can until you fail. If you choose to accept this mission, hence you nerf yourself and dwarf your potential in this illusion of comfort and safety. And I'd say this to myself more than you, because I've definitely been in my own divine lazy bubble. But other than that, you don't need to rush this. Just hold yourself to the whole notion that coming into Aquarius season, you're getting ready to push yourself beyond your limits. The South Node in Scorpio is going to make more difficult, complex, and intense every single area of your life. And a lot of you are feeling this. You're feeling this unsettling in your stomach, which is your spirit feeling you're about to be thrust way out your comfort zone, and you're about to be inheriting a lot more karma. The nodes are about to square Saturn. Like, we're getting ready for war, all right? We're still closing out this pandemic, and there's certain aspects that you're going to have to come at peace with yourself that's going to have you accept that things are going to get a lot more intense. And so you can take that and you can feel like you can start worrying and be like, what am I going to do? How am I going to deal with this? Or you're going to have to make the decision that as things get harder, you must get harder yourself. My bad. You must get harder yourself, okay? And this is very, very important. If you need to, listen to Kobe Bryant, Andy Frisella, David Goggins clips. Listen to all these people who you feel motivate you, and just have that there if you need that. But all jokes aside, things are going to get so much more intense. And the purpose of that is for you to get so much more intense, because you will never be put through something that you really can't handle. So you have to make the decision to just basically, you know, quit. But don't quit. Go harder. And I don't mean to sound motivate. I don't want to sound motivation at all. I really just want to sound matter of fact. So just really keep this in mind, because that feeling of unease in the pit of your gut, your feeling is your soul saying that a stronger, much more intense version of you must come out to meet this. And for a lot of you, myself included, this is outside your comfort zone. And so really rewire your attitude around this, because we need you at 100. We need you at 100%. I'm gonna just be real, okay? And like, You need yourself at 100%. And what's going to really be called out is this full-on revolution. This is the social revolution of the individual. So much social revolutions culturally are going to come at a head because everything collectively since like 2015 is now applying to you specifically. It's no longer you just reading about it. It's applied to you, but it's applying to you more than ever. And you must now address these collective issues within your own societal communities individually. That's the social South Node in Scorpio pinpointed to you individually. And, you know, we had the collective Sag pinpointed to your thoughts individually, but this is where it's real. A lot of the dynamics you're seeing in the news are happening in your community, and you need to revolutionize how much valuable you manifest and how much more discipline you apply. Because to square the nodes, there's really no more time to complain. Like, you really just have to, and like really keep that in mind, because all these people who kind of just complain about stuff on Twitter and the internet, that shit is done. That shit is done. No one's really gonna hear that anymore because we have shit to do. So like, just keep that in mind. Don't get distracted by anything that keeps you off your goals, because that's what the dark forces are doing. They're distracting you with stuff you agree with and believe. It doesn't matter whether it's good or bad. Is it distracting you for what you have to do? Don't let yourself do that, okay? And I don't mean to say this to just tell you what to do, because everything I'm saying really applies to me more so. So I'm going to make sure I do that. But, you know, congratulations, because as we conclude this Capricorn season up the mountain, you've reached the next state of greatness that you don't have to really prove to anybody, even yourself. You just have to take action, integrity, and do it, okay? Let your actions kind of speak. But wait, because this moon in Leo is going to transform the understanding of how courageous and confident you are in the transformation of this power, which starts with the mindset. You know, before you lose 200 pounds and manifest that body, relationship, or mind, it started with an idea that you committed to. And this is basically the transit that's going to transform how you look or feel about everything that you're generating, okay? That opposition to Saturn is going to make you receptive to knowledge that you can actually passionately, you know, express, but understand really. And there's just this golden quality to the moon in Leo that's going to really have you receive energy. It's an intangible feeling. You're not really going to see it physically, but I mean, through Capricorn you will, but that moon in Leo will kind of transform some of you to have the courage to confront certain things you didn't during this final boss battle. Because when you fight that final boss, you're going to be nervous or scared. It's only during the battle. You don't gain courage before it. It's only during it when all hope seems lost and you have the decision to give up, and then instead you just make this crazy ass decision to keep moving forward when everyone else has decided it's over, and they're going to call you crazy and they're going to say you're insane, and then they're going to marvel at how you did it anyway. So let this square to Uranus like evoke some of the most eccentric, unconventional solutions to these problems or issues you may be facing, and, you know, break through your limits. Because once you do so, and don't worry about figuring out how, the opportunities to break your limits will present itself. You won't have to force it. You'll really just have a decision over the next 2 days. Am I going to push myself beyond what I'm capable of, or am I just going to shrink back and rob myself the opportunity of pushing myself to the next level? Godspeed, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get distracted by this bullshit you see on the media. Really go within your soul. I'm not going to tell you the answers are there. Go within and find out, okay? And going within just means, you know, asking yourself what you feel in relation to external events. Go within that compass, because if you get distracted, you'll just be more lost in this smoke and fog of rhetoric, which is ultimately useless in a society where people care more about opinions than the truth. All right. So other than that, I hope you enjoy this transit. Things are going to get a lot more intense. I hope you enjoy this nodal transit shift. You're going to feel it. And as things get harder, you will and must get harder. because that's what you're born to do anyway. You're amazing. Peace.